Good evening, everyone, and let's call this meeting to order. Today is Thursday, April 24th at 6 p.m. The general board meeting for Community Board 1. I call this meeting to order. Mr. District Manager, can you take the roll, please?
Diana.
Doing roll call?
Looks like we're doing roll, yes.
Good evening.
Call the roll.
Gladys Ayato. Evelyn Alvarez. Dante Ambrose. Daniel Barber. Robert Barnes, Cecil Brooks Jr. Stephanie Calastado. Carolyn Chamorro. Maura Cosome. Christina Cover. Audrey De Jesus. Jacqueline De Jesus. Nacha Dubai.
She's here.
Okay. Josephine Fernandez Byrne. Brenda Goodwin. Christine Licata.
Present.
Paola Martinez. Delorny Namorin.
Present.
Argelia Ortiz. She's in
here.
here somewhere.
She's here.
Yes.
Oh, she was eating right next to me.
Yeah, she's here. Emmanuel Pardilla. Marilyn Peña. Freddie Perez Jr.
Present.
Rosa Pinero. Joyce Pulpis. Jose Rodriguez. Mohammed Sheikh.
Present.
Patricia Simpson. Whitney Williams. Cesar York.
Here.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, we do not have quorum.
Being that there's no quorum, we're gonna move, the agenda forward without being able to approve the agenda or approve the full board minutes. I'm gonna now move into the public session. Has anyone registered for the public session? Mr. Palmers? John Sanchez, sir? You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is John Sanchez. I'm with We Stay Nos Quedamos. I am also the secretary for the subcommittee of EJ and sanitation. Thank you for having me. Thank you. So, quick announcement. For We Stay Nos Quedamos is hosting a spring equinox celebration on May 17th from 1 to 4 p.m. at London Garcia Park. It's a free family fun day with live music, performances, yoga, art, and wellness resources for all ages. The theme is going to be resilience and public health, and it's all about bringing our community together with good vibes and creativity. So there are some flyers in the back. You can RSVP through the QR code and also pop in every time. And this is what the flyer looks like, and I hope to see you all there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Can everyone hear me? This is a perfect follow-up to John because I'm here to talk to you tonight about the the NQ delegate program that they have. My name is Christine Licata, and in addition to being a CB1 member, I am part of the Nos Quedamos delegate program. Many of you already know Nos Quedamos. I mean, you've just heard from John, and Elijah is also on the Environmental Justice and Sanitation Committee, and they're also just so active in the Bronx. But for those of you who don't know Nos Quedamos is a community-based nonprofit organization rooted in Melrose and the South Bronx for the past 30 years, founded by residents to fight displacement and environmental injustice in the Bronx. NQ's mission focuses on housing justice, environmental resilience, financial literacy, community ownership, arts and culture, and youth programming, to name a few. As you know, we just got shown also a spring equinox that talks about health and the arts and community building. NQ has also brought together a group of volunteers known as NQ delegates, of which we're a part of that, comprised of local residents interested in community leadership and helping to support NQ's mission. The program is open to anyone who cares about the Bronx and wants to get involved. I personally am so proud to serve as an NQ delegate, to be part of an organization making a tangible difference through community-led activism. I'm also honored to be amongst my fellow NQ delegates, two of which are CB1 members. One is R.D. Ortiz, who has been part of NQ since its earliest days, and Sonia Lopez. It's empowering to be part of NQ's mission and the founding belief that people who live here should be the ones leading the decisions that impact our neighborhood and lives, especially when it comes to the ongoing threats of environmental hazards, displacement, and gentrification, issues we deal with all the time here at CB1. So if you are interested and would like to learn more, please take a flyer from the back, or you can speak to RT or myself after the meeting. We'll stay a few minutes and you can have a little bit of a chat with us. And I think I'm under 2 minutes, so I don't know if RT would like to add any thoughts or insights here or answer any questions.
Well, no, you said it all. We will be at the back, and everybody can grab a flyer from the back. Yes, I'm out to tell, okay?
Thank you, CB1 leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. And just anybody else, just for the record, since we are being recorded, I have to be prompt on and correct on everything. My name is Freddie Perez. I'm the first vice chair, Community Board 1, acting on behalf of Clarissa Aliero, who's out, for the record. Anyone else, public session? Anyone else? Tyra Williams.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the time you've given us today. My name is Colin Healy. I'm the principal of ABCI 1 Charter High School, which is right here on Brook Avenue, right off 159th and 3rd Avenue. And we also have Tyra Williams with us, who is the principal of our brand new middle school opening this September. We have a quick video, if you just bear with us for about 30 seconds, that helps tell our story. And then we'll talk a little bit more about how we serve the community here. All right, while we work on that, AECI High School has actually been in the community for the last 17 years. AECI stands for Architecture, Engineering, and Construction Industries. I myself have been with the school for 15 years. I started here as a tutor, and I've been the principal for the last six plus years. And so our mission, I think, is very unique, and we've done a wonderful job living up to that mission. Architecture, engineering, and construction is our theme, and so our goal is to expose students to the themes in our school name, and we offer college-level classes for those themes. If you Google the top architecture programs that young architects need, we offer it at our school. Not only are we doing that, we also prepare students for four-year colleges who may not be interested in architecture and engineering. We've had a 95% graduation rate for the last 8 years. This is acceptance season acceptance into college season, and we just had a student got into Yale. We have 11 students that got to Syracuse University, full rides. And so I think, for the last almost 2 decades, we've really been doing right by the community. And because of our success, we are starting a middle school this September, which I think is only going to enhance our students' experience. And I'll turn it over to that school's principal, Ms. Williams.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us here. My name is Tyra Williams. I am the proud new principal of AECI Middle School, which will start this September with our first sixth grade inaugural class. I am a native New Yorker from Harlem and raised in the Bronx, went to high school in the Bronx, and I've been a principal of elementary school, middle school, and of high school. It's an exciting time for an expansion of a middle school here at AECI, because what we're gonna do is take the mold of what's been happening at the high school and just move it down to the middle school. A few months ago, we did a presentation to the education committee here and really did an extensive presentation on what we'll have at the school. But we're excited about expanding the theme to expose our children to hands-on learning in the fields of architecture, engineering, and construction industries all the way from sixth grade. Our goal is to make sure that our students have the ability to take Regents Club courses in middle school so that they can take even more courses. I don't know if Mr. Healy explained that the high school has done a great job of having students earn.
But at AECI on charter school, it is an astounding 95%. Our students, in the Bronx, the high school graduation rate is 79%. But at AECI on charter school, it is an astounding 95%. Our students don't just graduate with a high school diploma, they thrive. With hands-on courses in architecture and engineering and real-world internships and site visits, they gain a valuable experience. Apply today for AECI One Charter School, a high school with a proven track record of success, and expanding to a middle school in September of 2025.
So that's our short video, and it just kind of gives you a little overview of our school. As I was saying, we are able to, at the high school, have students leave the school with up to 25 college credits that they're earning right now. And so our goal is to expand that and maybe have our students go as far as earning, by the end of high school, an associate's degree, because it's possible. And so we're really, really excited. This Saturday, we will have another, because we're registering students as we speak, but we will have a time for our incoming ninth graders as well as our incoming sixth graders to come on and get to know each other, to celebrate, to have some fun, to do a little bit of hands-on learning on Saturday. And so if you are in the community and you are close to 838 Brook Avenue, from 11 to 2 p.m., we will have our kickoff event, and we are enrolling students. We have put our flyers in the back, and so if you know of any incoming sixth graders for the September, please have them come out to our school and visit. I am there full time. I started in November at the school to just build the school, and so we're really excited about the work that we're doing. Any questions?
Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to recognize and bring up Chief Roberts. He's the Borough Chief for New York City Sheriff's Department. Sir, you have the floor.
And also our neighbor.
You want the Swiss? No. Okay, thank you. How's things?
How you doing? I'm Chief Roberts with the Sheriff's Department. I'm the new undersheriff here in the Bronx. We're here to handle any of the civil process or family court stuff that you need to take care of in your community. We also have operations with our BCI unit, in which we handle the cannabis, inspections and the seizures if they're not operating properly. We also do a lot of road patrol stuff that handles stuff that has to do with illegal cars, scotch towing and stuff like that. If there's anything you need from us, we want to see you. We're at 3030 3rd Avenue. I hope to see you. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for the sheriff?
Yeah, phone number,
Go ahead.
phone number.
Oh, a phone number, Chief. Phone or an email where we can reach you?
Oh, you can reach me at 917-270-1029.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the chief? Speak now before he leaves. You know, you all have issues. Yes, ma'am. Hold on, she's gonna give you a mic.
I don't really need a mic.
Okay, go ahead.
Ah,
Go ahead. You have a question?
Yes, how is that BBO program going about? Because there's a lot of, I don't own a car,
Okay,
but there's a lot of cars that are parked without licenses and all that, and if you don't the garages, I understand that.
well,
But why do
with,
you have them all without license and everything, and double park and triple park?
with us, we can only tow your car or remove your car if it is a stop. That means it has a certain amount of tickets in the judgment. That other type of situation you're talking about needs to be handled by either traffic or NYPD.
Because I don't know if they have some connection to someone, because maybe triple coffee, and some of the school buses can get by.
Yeah, I would say,
And that's between 137 Cypress and Bruckner and 136 Cypress and Bruckner.
I would say
I
in
never
that
see
situation,
tickets, I never see sanitation goes to the street to clean,
Mhm.
because they don't meet their car.
yeah, I would say that's a situation that you have to complain to your precinct about.
All right,
Okay, the sheriff's department, when we do something that has to do with cars and stuff, it has to be that those cars have to be in some type of judgment or stop law car.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the chief? Oh, Mr. Henry.
I just have a question. Could you just explain to the public the role of the sheriff in a community? Because it's very confusing with NYPD and so, and I think a lot of people may not be using your services because they probably don't understand.
Okay, the sheriff's department is the chief law enforcement for the courts. Everything that the sheriff's department does usually comes from family court, Supreme Court, civil court. It has to be an order coming from some type of court. If that turns criminal, we can also do the criminal part, but everything is usually coming from court for the sheriff's department.
So as a civilian, you cannot reach out to you straight.
No, you can come out, I mean, we do services for the community, sure, you can reach out to us, people come to us all the time, but usually if you come to us, you're coming with us with something from the court. Right, like you got something from, you got family court there.
So there's no family court case or anything from the court. We need to go through NYPD instead of you.
Yes.
Okay, because that's what kind of create a little confusion, where I think quite a few people don't understand it. I thought I was lying up. So I thought a lot of people kind of get those things confused, including me.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I want to make sure that we get that clear and straight to everyone else, so we know how far we can go to. Because sometimes we can complain that, oh, I saw the sheriff, but they didn't do anything. But it probably was not in your jurisdiction, so that's what okay, thank you.
Thank you, chief. Anyone else? Ma'am, you have a question?
My question is, the sheriff's department, is that where the child support and old child support? Are those the ones that come, are those the ones that come out to your apartment?
Yes, because somebody probably filed papers, or or HRA sent us papers for child support or visitation or something like that, and we will come out to try to serve the person that you need to be served, so that person comes to court.
Okay, another question. So how would you stop that when you come to a person's apartment
Mike,
and the person no longer lives there? How can you stop that?
That will be stopped. We go there, they speak to somebody, that person tells them that this person no longer lives here. We would send that back to the entity that gave it to us, letting them know it's not found, that person doesn't live there anymore.
Because I have a lot of residents I'm the TA president for Patterson Houses, and I have a lot of residents that come to me asking me about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Carr.
Very quick question. How does the sheriff differ from the marshal? Are there different?
Oh, the marshal is a private entity that works for the city. They do some of the functions that we do, not all of them, just some of them.
Okay. They also deal with different housing.
Mm-hmm. they'll do, like, most of the time, the housing evictions and stuff like that.
Anyone else? Thank you, Chief. We'll invite you to the next meeting also. I think this, no one asked anybody, you wanna ask a question?
Thank you, Chief. Very quickly, do you have any updates? I know there's a company office is most likely downtown about, cannabis, enforcement operations, illegal cannabis, operations and shutting down facilities. How does your office or the office of the sheriff works to enforce those type of closure orders?
We do it on a regular basis, around every day, doing inspections, following up on, stores that we closed, before. Also, those stores that were fined, we give them executions and judgments, so they have to pay fines to the city.
And do you want to give a number or email that people can reach out to in case there is suspicion of illegal cannabis shops or operations of any kind, up in the neighborhood?
Well, they could just call that number, or they could just call directly to the office, and then they would contact them with the unit that they were at, which is BCI. I don't have that information.
Would you repeat the phone number you want people to have for your office?
917-270-1029.
And the sheriff's office is located in our district in 3030 3rd Avenue on the 2nd floor. Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay, we still don't have quorum, so I'm gonna keep moving the agenda, and we're gonna move into the district manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Chair. Thank you, good evening, everybody. I'm gonna give a brief report so that we can move forward the agenda in hopes that we facilitate quorum. So far, I was gonna let you know that our office is still not in operation yet. We are still temporarily in 3030 3rd Avenue on the 2nd floor. Please feel free to stop by. There's always a happy city servant there to assist you. Diana Leonard from our team, the new member of our team, and Stephen Palmer and myself. And we still do active constituent services, city constituent services. So if you have any concerns in regards to a lapse of constituent services, feel free to make sure you stop by our office and fill out a constituent complaint form so we follow up. Our 3B1 complaints are at an all-time high, mostly for folks who are concerned about needles that are being found in public areas, including bank ATM spots and parks and so on. In our last district service cabinet meeting, we recorded over 1,700 used needles that were just inside of St. Mary's Park. That's one location, and that was a number that was directly reported by the Parks Department and their cleanup. So what does that mean? We have 3 different ways that needles that are unfortunately used that are around in specific locations are collected. They're collected by the Parks Department, the Sanitation Department, and our harm reduction organizations. As you know, our committees have, both our Policy Administration Committee and the Health and Human Services Committee have been discussing this issue ongoing as we try to work together with the community to find a way to be able to help turn the tide on at least the cannabis, the hazardous materials that are around the area. I'm gonna give it time for our committee chair to talk about the wonderful events that we had around the district that we're happy to co-sponsor and support. They're exciting about the work we can do to participate in the autism walk. We did an amazing cleanups. We had some community members and who participated in the cleanup on 3rd Avenue, and along with some of the other great events that are coming up. And with that, Mr. Chair, I'm going to turn the rest of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. District Manager. Moving ahead, is anybody here from the 40th precinct? Anyone here representing PSC 7? Being that they're not here, we're gonna go into the elected officials reports. Anybody from the mayor's office? Anyone from the mayor's office is here? Okay. I'm trying to move along here. You see that, right? Always no one's time. Thank you.
I think you need is that on? Yes, on. Okay, John, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Yvette Ramirez from the Mayor's Office Community Affairs Unit, and I have a few city hall announcements. Mayor Adams makes a historic $167 million long-term commitment to fund critical early childhood education programming, along with the Chancellor of DOE, Alvarez, Ramos announces hiring over 3,700 new teachers at nearly 750 schools as part of upcoming mayoral executive budget, along with the expansion of signature initiatives such as the NYC Reads and NYC Solves, which strengthen literacy and math instruction across 14 New York City districts for middle school pupils at 186 schools. Mayor Adams announces $5.5 million investment to expand free swim lessons to nearly 18,000 students, building safer, more affordable city for New York City families. Mayor Adams celebrates a milestone in making NYC most women-forward city in the nation, announcing new efforts to address women's safety with a Women Forward NYC Action Plan for Gender Equity. Mayor Adams signs historic legislation to get sheds down, remove unsightly scaffolding across the 5 boroughs. And along with Commissioner Tisch, NYPD, new quality of life division to enhance public safety and community trust. As far as the hub, there was an announcement here for this area. Investment to multi-agency operation to address urgent public safety and quality of life concerns along Melrose Avenue in the Bronx, AKA the hub. Mayor Eric Adams, New York City Police Department Commissioner Tisch, and New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. Acting Commissioner Dr. Michelle Morris announced a multi-agency response aimed at addressing public safety and improving quality of life in the hub, a major commercial center along Melrose Avenue in the South Bronx. To maintain quality of life and public safety on the corridor, the Adams administration launched the effort under its Community Link initiative, a collaborative multi-agency response to chronic problems. And lastly, regarding employment opportunities, Mayor Adams announced $2 million investment to expand Jobs NYC initiative, delivering job opportunities and training to economically disadvantaged communities. And I left some information about the jobs in the back of the material. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Just a quick representation, how much is the investment in the multi-agency collaboration in the hub? What number did you say?
The link, community link.
Yeah, community link.
I didn't say a number, it's just an initiative, you could look it up, it's actually a public record.
It's a public record. I was there for the meeting, it was about a month ago. So if you look up community link, it'll tell you on the website.
Do you know how much money it's invested?
No. I was actually at the press conference. I don't want to miss. I'm sorry, yeah, they did announce it about a month. It was all over the news. But if you look on the website, it'll tell you how much money and when it begins.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Thank you. Anyone representing the Borough President's office? Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Erica Burris, and I'm from the Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson's office in the Busman unit. Briefly, just want to bring to your attention, the Community Board Recognition Barbecue will take place on May 7th at Split Rock Golf Course. Please get in touch with the office about the RSVP if you haven't already. Also, our Community Board unit is in the process of interviewing members for reappointment and new applications. Bronx Week will take place May 5th to May 18th. This year's theme is Thrive and Strive in 2025. For more information, please check out I Love the Bronx. And if you have any questions or concerns about any of these events, you can call our office, 718-590-3500.
For clarification, you mentioned that the Split Rock event is for board members only, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a Community Board Recognition Barbecue.
Okay, good. Any questions for the Borough President's office? Being none, thank you. U.S. Congress? Do we have anyone here from the Honorable Richie Torres' office? Ocasio Cortez? No one from, okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nipa from the Office of Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. Just quickly, anyone who didn't file their taxes, you can still request an extension for to file your taxes. So we recommend that you do that as soon as possible. If you have any issues reaching out to IRS, you can reach out to our office. Next, for high school students, congressional art competition. The deadline to submit your artwork is tomorrow, Friday at our office, 5 p.m. And finally, if you need any help with any federal agencies, our office is here to help you. Please reach out to 718-662-5975. Thank you.
Any questions for, the Congresswoman's, staff?
Repeat that number, please.
718-662-5975.
Anyone else? Thank you. New York State Senate, anyone from Jose Encerano's office?
Good evening. My name is Jose Ramon Perez, and I come from the office of Senator Jose Serrano. There is an important event that we would like to invite you. It's we have a free legal services intake from with New York City LAG and WILAG. If you are having issues with immigration, intimate partner violence, divorce, custody, employment, advanced planning, housing, public benefits, we will hold this event on Thursday, May 1st, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you would like to meet an attorney, you can call our office to make an appointment. So the phone number of the office is 212-828-5829. That's 212-828-5829. Our office is located in East Harlem at 335 East 100th Street between 1st and 2nd Avenue. So on April 11th, Senator Serrano attended a prayer vigil at the hospital for the victims of the Jet Set nightclub roof collapse in the Dominican Republic. In Albany, Senator Serrano joined fellow legislators and arts advocates from across the state to rally to support increase our funding in the community in the upcoming state budget. He believes that the arts are crucial to our society, providing endless benefits and serving as a major economic engine for the state. Senator Serrano is sponsoring the Bill 1376, which relates to encouraging and promoting farmers markets in the state and local parks. This bill encourages expansion of farmers market in New York and improves access to local food by promoting farmers markets in state parks without harming the environment. And I think that's all. If you have any questions.
Any questions?
Anyway, there is a flyer for those who want more information about the legal assistance on the table.
Thank you. Anyone from Senator Sepulveda's office? The New York State Assembly, anyone from Assemblywoman Chantel Jackson's office? Anyone from Assemblywoman Amanda Septimus' office? And is City Controller, anyone from Brad Lander's office? Public Advocate Jumani D. Williams, anyone? New York City Council Member Rafael Salamanca.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maritza Olades Wiggins from District 17, Councilmember Salamanca Junior's office. On March 11, Councilmember, as chair of the Committee of Land Use, held a budget oversight hearing to review the FY 26 agency operating budget, costs for the Department of City Planning and New York City Landmark Preservation Committee. As part of the hearing, the councilmember led a thorough line of questioning to discern whether city planning has the appropriate staffing to carry out the city's ambitious housing targets, is properly engaging with communities as we collaborate, approve projects, and has the necessary funding to accomplish these initiatives. The deadline to submit ceremonial street code naming for the June 2025 package is on Friday, May 9th. As part of the vetting process, the New York City Council requires a letter of support from the local community boards and a statement of support from the family of the prospective honoree. On Thursday, May 1st, at 11:30, at District Office at 1070 Southern Boulevard, in collaboration with Urban Health, we will have a fruit and vegetable distribution starting 11:30. On Friday, May 2nd, between 3 to 6 p.m. at Julio Caraballo Fields, between Medina Street, between Spofford and Lafayette, we're gonna have a family spring festival. On Wednesday, May 7th, from 6 to 9, the council members having a Mother's Day celebration event that he does annually at the Bronx Zoo, 2300 Southern Boulevard at the Shift Hall. RSVP is a must. If you have any issues, RSVPing to the Google Forms, just give me a call and let me know. I'll be in the back with my card if you need information, if you have any concerns. Thank you, have a good night.
Thank you. Do you have any questions for Councilmember Salamanca's office? Being none, is anyone here from Councilwoman Diana Ayala's office? Gloria.
I have nothing to report.
Oh.
Thank you. Any questions for Councilwoman Ayala's office? Thank you. Anyone here from the Bronx DA's office? Marcel Clark?
Hi, I'm Amy Collins, I'm just here.
Please come to the mic. This will be recorded.
I'm not making a presentation, I'm just observing, so I just wanted to say hi, if anyone has any questions, they can come after.
Okay. Welcome. I just been informed that we have established quorum, so for all board members, please, I need a motion on the floor to accept the agenda as presented with or without modifications.
I, Delorne Namorin, make a motion to accept the agenda with or without modifications.
And the modifications are, I have one.
Okay.
Giovanni's Wines and Liquor is removing his, we're removing the voting item, Giovanni's Wine and Liquor, he has to go before the committee. Can I get a second?
Ambrose, second.
Mr. Ambrose, second. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor of approving the agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Any abstentions? Let the record reflect that, the agenda was approved. Let's move on to approval of the full board minutes. I need, a motion on the floor to approve the minutes from the last meeting, which are attached to your booklet. I hope everyone read it. I need a motion from a board member.
I, Delorne, make a motion to approve the minutes from last board meeting.
Seconded by? Seconded by Mohammed Sheikh. All those in favor of approving the full board minutes as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstentions? Let the record reflect the approval for full board minutes was adopted. Since we have already been through the public session and we're gonna move into some voting items here. It's item number 8. But before we move into this voting item, I'd like the district manager to please clarify for the committee the first item, which is Flavor Kings Genetics requesting a cannabis license.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was wanting to talk about this group, Flavor Kings Genetics came before our committee on license and permits. This was an organization that originally submitted an application for, to be considered by OCM for a license. And apparently without any recognition from the community board, their license was approved. The district manager and the chairperson immediately reached out to the New York State Office of Cannabis Management in opposition to this action because it is, in our opinion, against the rules and the law, which requires the municipality to approve all cannabis licenses for consideration by the board before they can move forward. We have given, I believe, and just a little comment about it, we have given under the law each of the potential applicants and licensees the opportunity to come and get a fair shake before the committee, before the full board. And we have favorably approved the ones that we believe are in good standing. In opposition to this issue about the Office of Cannabis Management, again, approving this institution, immediately, like I said, we wrote a letter in opposition to this happening and saying this is frequently against how this law was written. It was written to give community input and the ability to opine upon it. The letter was received graciously by the chair of OCM, and at the end of the day, they decided not to reverse the decision and give this industry or this business their cannabis license. But in good faith, they made a request for this business to come before the committee and the full board to be able to show good faith that they want to be a bona fide established business within the district, and they wanted to be able to show the board they want to be and future future requirements that the board puts on them as part of what's required under this law. It is an absence of the committee's chairperson, which this meeting with the business lasted, I could say about 45 minutes to 1 hour, where we got into a very interesting conversation about the operations, security, etc. And they were given a pass or to move forward without any objection from this committee or further objection to this committee for the board to take upon. So I want to say thank you to our team, Stephen Palmer and Diana Leonard, who worked very hard with me to make sure, along with the chair, that we got this business to come in and to play by the rules and to ensure that any businesses that OCM will ever consider for future licenses, they must show full support and approval according to the law by this community board. That is all, Mr. Acting Chairman. A reference to Flavor Kings on Ryder Avenue in the district. I'm happy to answer any questions regarding this update report. Chair, raise your hand.
Yes. Gloria, I'm sorry.
What's the exact location?
I did 138 Ryder Avenue. I believe I may be not accurate on the, is it, Mr. Palmer?
208 Ryder Avenue.
208, there we go. So 208 Ryder Avenue in the district, I believe is near 134?
So that would be the second one, is it like the other one?
The second one, what do you
That
mean?
would be the second location that would be open in that area?
My understanding that in my recollection with my tenure as the district manager, that we only have that business and we have Conbud. That is the only two cannabis dispensaries that have been approved by OCM. The other ones that are in the district and that we receive credible information from, we have been working closely with the authorities to evaluate those businesses.
Yes, yes, questions. Go ahead.
If you do know, maybe it's not possible, but how were they able to pass OCM to not go by the community board since that is established?
That's exactly what our written questions were to the chairperson of OCM. And the response we got back did not say anything significantly how that happened, is that they believe they went through the process, they had their quote unquote ducks in a row, and therefore the Office of Cannabis Management decides to award them the license.
Thank you for following up with that.
Yes.
Any other question?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So we'll move to the next one. That will be, Committee on Environmental Justice on, yeah, this one there.
Do we have to approve it? Or it's not?
It is no longer up for considered municipal approval.
I will move to the next one, which is, Committee on Environmental Justice on Sanitation, Public Power, New York.
I got my stuff ready, so.
Can people hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we are standing here because this is very important for the future of the Bronx and New York State. So Public Power came in to do a presentation. And then they want to do public renewable energy for NIPA to increase from to have to 15 gigawatts of renewable energy. So they want to go with something called Resolution 710, and then this allows for NIPA to have 5 to 15 gigawatts of power, but it's mainly renewable energy. So we had a lot of discussions regarding this situation because for me, I have a background in kind of energy issues. So I asked a bunch of questions, and some of these questions were put in the conditions. And some of them has to do with land. So if you're doing solar technology, according to the Great Place Institute, you require about 10 acres for 1 megawatt of energy. So we were asking about those things as well. So you have large kilowatts, megawatts, it's actually lower than gigawatts. So you have a lot of these gigawatts, you're going to require a lot of land in order to get the solar panels. So hopefully it's a mix of other renewables, kind of like wind, geothermal, hydropower. We get a lot of hydropower from Canada and other places here. So we have a large concentration of geothermal and hydropower. So New York State does produce some form of renewable energy in other forms. So you have that, but then we also have other questions about funding. Where's the funding going to come from? Public funding. We had questions about infrastructure, because if you have 15 gigawatts of power, you need infrastructure to get this energy into New York City. So some of that has to do with converter stations. For me, if somebody has read some of the reports I have, I'm very careful we have converter stations in our neighborhood, because there haven't been a lot of studies made in high density areas. Some studies have been made in Europe, because Europe has more renewables than the United States does. So we have to be very careful of having some of this infrastructure in our communities. So, and the other one has to do with, if we are approving 15 gigawatts, we need to get the energy, right? Not build the infrastructure and then all this electricity goes to rich people. That's not going to happen. So we said, we approve this, you put a large effort in order to have some of this electricity go to our low-income neighborhoods, and also places of color and places that experience a lot of climate issues. So in this one, this is a mix of things. You have climate change, climate justice. You also have resource depletion. As you know, the United States imports 50% of its energy from outside the United States. We don't take petroleum and all that stuff. We hit peak oil in the United States in the 1970s. That's the reason why we had to import to the United States. So we were looking at all of this here, and we will look at the amount of energy that New York City produces, and also the electricity, or has electricity made or produced, most of it is from fossil fuel based. 81% comes from oil and gas. So we had to fix the grid. We had to fix the grid because the New York City grid is actually like probably 95% is fossil fuel based. So this is a good way to decrease the amount of fossil fuel into the grid in New York City. So it's 15 gigawatts in total in New York State. So downstate it's 5 gigawatts, and then 10 is for the other areas. So we there and we looked over everything, and we had a lot of discussions. I had some of us, even Elijah has one of those points that he wants to make right now. So I got him here. So can you make that point?
I'll touch on it very shortly, but my point is quite simple. I would like to speak on NYPA as they are the primary funders of this solar project. And for those of you that don't know, NYPA is a state-owned public power, and it operates like a business. So naturally, the one thing important to me was in this development plan, where's the money trail? Where's the money coming from? Is it coming from green bonds? How are they getting this money? Who is giving them this money? Because the last thing I want is bad people giving people money for all the wrong reasons in a neighborhood that doesn't deserve it. That's how we keep bad investors here. That's how we keep bad blood here. We don't need that here. I want a money trail. I want to know where it's coming from. I want to know who's giving it to us. And I feel like that's important. Thank you.
Thanks. We should have introduced ourselves. My name is Cesar York. I'm the chair of Environmental Justice and Sanitation. So we will look at the letter of support, and then they have a lot of great things here. You have like jobs, over 20 to 30,000 jobs that could be produced through this project, through NYPA. So in NYPA does this, 20, 30,000 jobs, community health, and you also have affordability. So we focusing on affordability for New York City, and also increase our affordability for areas like ours, low-income neighborhoods. Right? So we looked over the letter of support and everything, and then we felt like even though they have some problems that we're going to encounter when we're dealing with renewables, but compared to the opposite, just having fossil fuels and destroying our planet, and also have air pollution, all these things, is a way better option. That's the reason why we approved. It was unanimous approval for a letter of support for public power, and go there, go fight for us to get some of this energy, and then keep putting more renewables. So that's us. So this is a voting item. So like I said, it was unanimous in the committee. So if anybody have any questions, you could ask me, and then I could do my best to respond. This is the voting item. So you want to know what we voted for? Okay, so we voted for the letter of support for public power, and with conditions. So we have different conditions. Well, some of them were like, emphasizing a space, because you're doing renewables and you're doing solar photovoltaics, it requires a lot of land. So we need a mix of renewables in order to reduce the land. And the other ones were like e-cycles. So what happens is they have a 20 years, these panels only last about 20 years. So they have to be recycled again. So we're not producing more trash. That, and we also for our communities to get this electricity. So if it comes to the grid, it's not going to just go to other areas that are more well off. For them to advocate to have more of that public electricity to come to our neighborhoods. That and then Elijah's, then with financial issues. So we looked at that. Those are the 4 conditions that we have. Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, my name is Alex. I'm the campaign coordinator of the Public Power New York Coalition. And I just wanted to speak to a little bit of the things. Caesar and I emailed back and forth a lot this week to address some of the issues that he's talking about. And I feel like, we're at a pretty good sort of consensus and compromise about what the text of the letter includes right now. And I just wanted to speak to some of the other concerns you brought up. How is this being financed? And I mentioned in the EJ committee last week that this is actually not, there are not new appropriations from the state. There's no, NIPA is not currently in, and we have a coalition.
Can you, excuse me, can you get a microphone? Because I'm not sure everybody's following you on my side.
Yeah.
Oh, come straight to me. Come to the mic.
Sorry, yes.
Whole presentation, that was good.
Yeah, sorry, and I will try not to make it as long as.
Just be the kind of, like.
Yeah,
Emphasize on.
Yeah, and so basically, in the letter, we wanted to emphasize, three things that we're seeking throughout the state, but especially here in the South Bronx. A real, example of an environmental justice committee and location of two of the power plants which NIPA owns. Which are, the jobs which Caesar talked about, if, NIPA were to increase its plans from 3.5 gigawatts to 15 gigawatts and create, somewhere between 20 to 30,000 good paying, sustained union jobs subject to project labor agreements and prevailing wages, as well as just transition requirements for former fossil fuel workers looking to get into new renewable energy projects, protecting their pensions, a lot of things like that. Community health, big one, obviously, the few power plants have a lot of negative impacts on people's health, increased rates of asthma, increased rates of cognitive function issues, and the law requires them to come offline by 2030. But the New York State Independent Systems Operator, which sort of oversees the grid, can say that, you can't shut these down if it has, could have a real impact on the grid reliability. So we want to make sure that the New York Power Authority is building enough generation capacity to meet that electricity need so that there's not blackouts or brownouts. And, just this week, we saw, a huge offshore wind project, the private sector offshore wind project canceled. That was 15,000 jobs that were supposed to be family sustaining jobs wiped off the map because of the status of the federal government. So now is the time for sort of the state to step in. And so just wanted to sort of qualify that. And on the question of funding, this does not come from any new taxes, any raising revenue. It comes from NIPA's ability to issue green bonds, which have defined defined interest returns. So bondholders don't, get a say over how NIPA is governed. Fortunately, they're public entities, so people, regular people get a say over how.
So who are you?
Again, sorry, my name is Alex Patch, and I'm the campaign coordinator for Public Power New York, which is a coalition of community groups, labor unions, and political organizations across the state.
Gloria, you have a question?
Point of clarification, if this letter was already approved in committee, all you're gonna do is try to approve it now, right?
Yes.
So why are we going through this whole presentation again?
Sorry.
Yeah, so in the committee members met and then they had a discussion, a lot of questions to him, but the other board members were not there. So most of them don't know what happened in that committee.
So they didn't read your report, right?
The report was given late, so all the details are not there. So they just wanted to explain some of the things why we made our decision to approve it. So, and also for people to ask questions, of board members and also people in the public to ask any questions regarding this, because this is very important, so.
Do you like us to make a motion?
Yes, you make a motion to approve the letter of support and then the conditions.
I-
Specify.
Okay, I, Delorme Namoran, make a motion to approve the Public Power New York letter of support with the conditions articulated by the Environmental Justice and Sanitation Committee.
I, Christina Cooper, second.
Okay, that vote is second.
Everybody approve?
Are we gonna do roll call vote? What are we doing?
Yeah, DM, okay, go ahead and do the roll call,
You're gonna do, okay.
so we can go. Bronx.
The clerk will call the roll. Dana?
Wait, oh, sorry. Any further discussion on the motion? Thank you. Hearing no discussion on the motion. Oh, no. Well, I made the motion. Sorry.
Let's see how the district number makes choice.
Yes.
Roll call the vote.
Voting item?
Yes.
Okay.
All the
These
names,
are the people that are
all the
on.
names.
Okay.
To the.
Are you ready?
And on this side.
Oh, yeah. This will be only 90-minute meeting. Okay, so we probably because for me, okay, can you just start calling the names? Yes.
Okay. Clarissa Lieto, Evelyn Alvarez, Gandhi Ambrose.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you voting?
Yes.
Daniel Barber, Robert Burns, Cecil Brooks Jr.
It has to be yes or no. Yes.
What's happening?
Can you call the name?
Can you continue to call the names? Yeah, and just, you'll circle back to her.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
I left off with Cecil Brooks, yes, okay. Stephanie Calzado. Carolyn Chamorro. Maura Cosme. Christina Cover.
Yes.
Thank you. Audrey De Jesus. Jacqueline De Jesus. Nacha Tibai. Gracias. Josephine Fernandez Byrne. Thank you. Brenda Goodwin. Christine Licata.
Yes.
Paola Martinez. Delorme.
Yes.
Yes. Angela Ortiz.
Yes.
Emmanuel Padilla. Yes. Marilyn Peña. Freddie Perez, he says yes. He told me his vote. Yes. Okay. Rosa Pinero. Joyce Popis. Jose Rodriguez. Mohammed Sheikh.
Yes,
Patricia Simpson. Whitney Williams.
Yes.
Thank you. Cesar York.
Yes.
how many yes?
This is show for some reason there's more than one.
11 yes. One, two. One, two. 11 yeas, 1 nay, and 2 abstentions. Motion passes.
All right.
Okay, we move to the next one.
Point of order.
No. No.
Yes,
That was only 14 votes. Don't we need 15 for quorum? Yes.
What do you mean Val's 14 votes?
She says 11 yeas, 2 nays, and, or sorry, 2 abstentions and 1 nay.
11, 13, yeah. That's 14. What happened? Who didn't vote?
I counted 12. I counted 12.
12, you counted 12. Okay, so there was a miscount, okay. Thank you. Well, someone triple check the count.
so we have 12.
Thank you.
You were right, you were right. That's my computer.
That's why we're here. This is very good.
Next item.
All right, can we go to the next item, our last
Next
item?
item, last item. Policy on legislation.
Yes. Where's the other mic? All right. Okay, so you guys, the next voting item is a letter, letter in opposition of discovery. Do you guys have this in your folder? If you do not, I have spare letters right here if you're missing a letter. There's also a lot of documents in the folder about discovery. So I'm just gonna start off and say that the New York State budget of $250 billion approximately, it is delayed. It has been delayed. It was due April 1st. You guys know what day today is. So that's how many days delayed it is, okay? Now, what is happening is that the governor can tie policies to the budget, okay? So that means one of these policies that are tied to the budget is discovery rollback, okay? Discovery, what is discovery? Discovery is a criminal court terminology. It is the evidence you give the defense attorney, the defendant, to tell them what evidence we have against you, okay? You have to do that in a certain period of time if it's a misdemeanor, and a different period of time if it's a felony. But this evidence has to come from the prosecution, and a lot of the evidence is in the hands of the police, okay? So that means the prosecution has to collect evidence from NYPD, from all the other people that might be involved, and give that to defense counsel so they can tell you, the case against the person. A lot of things that are common, guys, body cams. Body cams are a very popular example of evidence, okay? If they collected drugs, right? They test a lot of the drugs, that is a lot of popular, they're not gonna turn over the drug, but the results of the drugs, what the drug was, that's an example of evidence. Statements, things of that are all examples of evidence that will be turned over, okay? So we'll just focus on the Bronx. Our district attorney in the Bronx, Dr. Clark, is pushing for a rollback. In 2019, they changed the law because there's this guy who went viral, Bronx resident, Khalid Broader. He went viral because he was in prison for almost 3.5 years. One, he couldn't post bail, and by the time all the discovery was turned over, they didn't have a case, and he sat in jail for 3.5 years for no reason, okay? So then, when he got out of jail, Rikers is traumatizing, he killed himself, committed suicide. And so then they passed a lot of bail stuff, and then they passed discovery stuff. So right now, they are pushing for discovery reform rollbacks. The second paragraph of the letter is these conversations are happening in secret rooms right now. Unfortunately, when the budget is delayed, our elected officials in Albany do not even get paid. Everybody is trying to get the budget passed, but these are some of the proposed rollbacks. Number one, they're trying to get the prosecution to turn over evidence, to not turn over evidence that's in the police custody. They're saying that prosecution believes that if it's in NYPD's custody, it's not in our custody, so why do we have to turn that over? You can imagine the big problems with that for us as defense. Two, how much evidence, the word relevant or related is a big debate about how much evidence do I have to turn over when I mean prosecution has to turn over. Another thing is, when you don't turn over the evidence, is it something that's so harmful to the defendant? They're trying to say if it's not that harmful, what's the big deal? Also, if there's any mistakes, they want defense counsel to attack those mistakes within 35 days of certification. And if you do it past 35 days, you kind of wage your ability to argue that there was a discovery violation. So those are some of the proposed changes, okay? And so in the letter, I talk about the proposed changes in the second paragraph because I want you guys to understand that. Community Board 1, we are a neighborhood that's twofold. We get a lot of police and we get a lot of crime, right? So us trying to balance what type of police interaction we want, also trying to make sure that we are a safe place. Okay? Also, the issues the prosecutors are arguing, like Garcelle is concerned about, is that there's been too many dismissals of cases because of discovery violation. So there's this belief that, well, we're letting bad people out because of a loophole technicality, okay? And I do have documents here, but I just want to summarize this stuff for you. But in our folder, I put some documents, you guys. And so the chief administrative judge of New York State testified that there has been the dismissal rates are only for misdemeanors and unindicted felonies have not increased. The judge is Joseph Zayas confirmed this at his testimony on public protection hearing. He also explained that the old discovery laws created a lot of delays because when you violated, all you did was get more time, and that's how you can be in jail for 3.5 years and no one has a case against you, really. And then I want to talk about the alternatives for rollout. So our Senator Zelner Mari presented an idea that the NYPD database would be connected with the prosecutor database, and so therefore the delay in transferring evidence would not be a problem because they would be all in one system. Our Senator Gustavo Rivera, in the Bronx, supported that, and also Robert Jackson is an example of a Bronx senator who supported that idea of just connecting the databases so we don't have delays coming from NYPD, because there's a lot of stuff that NYPD owes, and you can imagine maybe it's hard for them to pass it along. Another thing that was a recommendation in this letter is just more technology money, you know what I mean? If anybody has been in our state system, the computers are old, the systems are old, and people don't know how to use them. And so when they passed discovery in 2020 to make sure that people got all this information, they should have passed money to make sure that the system was fully equipped with people who know how to use it and a database and a server that is equipped to transfer information easily, right? So those are the recommendations instead of a rollback, but one, a system that is connected and integrated for discovery purposes, and more money for the technology and the people who know how to use that technology to turn over that evidence versus rolling back. And obviously, NYPD evidence is crucial in a criminal court case, and that is something the prosecution must turn over. Okay, so any questions before I make a motion? I just think there might be a lot of questions, and depending on the questions might dictate how the motion is made.
Right here.
Oh, where's RJ?
So my question is, what is the process now for NYPD to hand over discovery to the DA's office? Because I do understand that having a system, one system, will make it easier for them to pass on evidence through the technology, but if I want to understand specifically what is the delay for them, because maybe with the technology, it wouldn't really make a difference.
So, you know what, that's a really good question. And I think there's various opinions. I do not want to believe that NYPD doesn't want to give it over, right? So the process is that NYPD hands it over. Like if you get arrested, NYPD writes up a police report, that police report then goes to the district attorney's office, then drafts what we call a complaint. And so there's a lot of handing over the individual, the information in that manner. Digitally is how we receive body cam footage. So there might be some digital transfer. And we, I'm gonna tell you, the data is coming along. Like they said, the only dismissals are around misdemeanors and unindicted felonies. That it's so easy it's very easy to indict a felony. So if it's unindicted, it's not an evidence issue. So the thing is, right now, it's just manually handled over electronically, but the systems are not connected. Someone has to send it to the prosecutor. And when I say someone in NYPD's office.
Thank you.
Yes.
We often see cases where the police kind of delays sending information. So I think making a connection would make it easier. Because with having them, then they have access to some information, the police has it. So I don't see why they shouldn't make the connection.
Yes, there are articles that believe that that NYPD is sometimes part of their own delays and not a system, but the connection will be no discretion on who's the problem of the delay. There will be a database, and what is necessary for discovery purposes will be able to be accessible to the district attorney's office. And so we will take away any discretion on whose fault the delay is for. If we create a database, and I did put, and that is a pending legislation that was introduced in January about potential solution versus limiting the evidence that is given to a defendant. We're trying to balance innocent until proven guilty, and that means we need all evidence to be turned over in a very timely manner. So I think that's a good idea to connect the system, and that's what I put also in our letter to support the Zelma Myrie proposal that Robert Jackson and Gustavo Rivera are co-sponsors of. Any other questions?
So the letter is essentially and I'm sorry if I'm just summarizing it again, the letter is to essentially disagree completely with the rollback and then offer the connecting databases and more money towards technology and capacity, but it's to completely say no rollback whatsoever.
Yeah.
And here's suggestions for the challenges.
Yeah, and I want to tell you guys, our legislators, I think, have been doing, the reason why it's the 24th and our budget hasn't been passed, they are really trying to hold down the fort. I think our legislators do not want to approve a rollback, which is why this has been delayed for 24 days. This is not something they want to do, but it is tethered, this idea that a budget cannot be passed because the governor has connected it to a policy is really not a good way to pass legislation. And, that's also, I think, not good, because I do want to say our current electeds are not saying, yeah, we want to roll back, They're kind of trying to fight as much as they can, but, it's budget or pass right now. It's budget or pass. So that's why we're day 24 out. Any further questions? Okay.
Thank you so much, Delaney, for your work on this. I want to ask if I had small, minor, editorial kind of recommendations to the body of the letter. Could I share that with you now, or could we connect after the vote? But I just had a few things.
Yeah, if you could tell me, right now, our cousins is what? Majority. Well, pretty much just know that people are currently arguing about this right now. Tomorrow is supposed to be all weekend. So I already speak to our district manager to send this right
as soon
away.
as you got it.
Yes.
Then what I'll just say right now, towards the bottom, the second to last paragraph, the tragic life of Khalif Browder. Maybe we can say the tragic death of Khalif Browder. I think that's what you see that at the bottom.
Yes.
And then Zelnor, I think is 2 L's on Senator Myrie. Zelnor Myrie, Zellnor. And then on the back, where it says, the second to last paragraph, furthermore, like the New York City Bar Association, it says, we also reject the discovery rollback and like us, and then it goes in the quote, maybe I could say like them, or like the association, encourage additional legislation to add. Those are it.
Yes.
It's a great letter, thank you so much.
Thank you. And I will make sure that I thank our state legislators for fighting for as long as they've been fighting to not have to roll back. I mean, 24 days trying to hold down the fort is a very long time without pay, regardless of how much you get paid. Like, it's 24 days with no paycheck right now. So, yeah, no pay until the budget is passed. Any further questions before someone makes a motion? Any more? Okay.
I just have it's kind of funny, but.
Yeah.
Are we passing it because they want to get paid, or we passing it because we need it? Because these are two things we want to make sure that it's clear. I don't want us to pass it because one elected official to get paid.
No,
we want to pass it because that can help us.
Yes, I want to be clear. I thought this went away, you guys, because I would have brought this to us much sooner than the eve of debate. But I do want them to hear from the South Bronx. You know, we are an area with high crime. People would agree it's getting better, but high crime. And we are an area that can also be heavily policed. So I think hearing from a community that is like right there in the intersect is really important, because sometimes they hear from like, you know, just like what they think is like these progressive advocates and not members of the actual community. And I think that's what community boards represent, like actual regular members of the community. Okay, so that is why I think it's important. Maybe it'll make a difference, maybe it's not, but at least they hear from us in the midnight fight. Any further questions, and then we can make the motion?
Before the motion, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make unanimous consent to adjust the numbers for the last motion that was called on the last vote. Okay. Permission. The motion passed with 12 in the affirmative, 1 nay, and 2 abstentions.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I can make my own motion?
I, Whitney Williams, move to approve the letter in opposition to Discovery Rollbacks in the New York State budget, and including the recommendation for future changes. Second.
Okay, all right, roll call.
Make it roll call, yeah.
Any discussion on the motion?
Any discussion on the motion?
I didn't say anything.
Sorry, you guys.
Seeing none.
Okay.
We begin. Thank you. Mr. Gandhi Ambrose, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Cecil Brooks, how do you vote?
Yes. Not yes?
Yes or no?
Did you say not yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Make sure.
Mr. Christina Cole, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Jacqueline De Jesus, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Naitra Dabi, how do you vote? Mrs. Josephine Fernandez Byrne, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Christine Licata, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Lorraine Nguyen, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Argelia Ortiz, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed Sheikh, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Patricia Simpson, how do you vote? Ms. Whitney Williams, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Cesar York, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, the motion passed, 15 in the affirmative, 0 abstentions, 0 nays, 1 proxy.
Motion passes.
Oh, Emmanuel.
Oh, did you sign in? I'm sorry, Mr. Fidia. I apologize. I was really ready to see you sign in. I
How do you
apologize.
vote?
Mr. Emmanuel Padilla, how do you vote?
Yes, okay. So one more.
Yes. I'm gonna make this go 1, 2,
13.
The motion is passed. Thank you.
I think we done with our meeting at 7:30, that's crazy. We never finished it. You never. We always go over.
Mr. Chairman, we are now at committee reports.
You start with it, come with the,
Development's not here, then you're the only one that's here, we didn't have a meeting. Financial Justice did his already, senior and aging. Yes.
all right, that's fine.
Hi, in senior and aging, we finally have our confirmed date for the MTA Access Rise Town Hall, which will be held here at Lincoln Hospital Auditorium, Tuesday, May 13th, from 3 to 4:30. We will be visiting all the senior centers in the community and to hand out flyers and to get questions ahead of time so that the speakers are prepared. Thank you. Tuesday, May 13th, here, Lincoln Hospital, 3 to 4:30.
Stephen, I think Stephen is next. She's not here, right? Audrey, LGBTQ, she's not here. We have,
Maryland's not here.
Maryland is
We
here.
already did hers already. If that's it.
I think that's about it.
I want to say one thing.
So I'm going to be very brief. Thank you all for being here, and I know we're getting past the hour so we can adjourn. At the request of our chairperson and at the esteemed excitement of our community coordinator, the community board will be reaching out to all of the members soon to be able to hold a parliamentarian workshop. And what does that mean? Because we want to make sure that as we go into the new session and in this session, that folks understand parliamentary procedures and that everyone is because we hopefully will be inaugurating a very large class of new board members in the next session. Some of the, as you see around, some of the members that are not here because they decided not to renew their memberships, and therefore the borough president's office has informed them that their tenure has ended. And then there will be a class of folks because in the very last election, it was voted in the Charter Revision Commission to decide that board members on community boards will have term limits. And what that means that folks who have served a certain amount of years on the board consecutively will be asked to step aside and give space for new energy, new blood, and new ideas. And also to provide some mentorship for those new members who are coming in to be able to bring more energy and power to our board. As we know, this community is constantly changing. We have a mixture of so many cultures in this community, a mixture of so many classes of affordable to luxury top stuff like housing, education backgrounds, community backgrounds. We want to honor all that talent, all that energy to be able to engage all the things that are going to be happening here in the South Bronx. Mott Haven, Port Morris, and Melrose is a home to over 200,000 constituents. That's a lot of community energy, a lot of folks who have saw this community do so many different stages and changes. And then as your district manager, I think it's extremely important that we know how to govern ourselves accordingly as we be able to do people's business. Because this is not the work that happens only in the office helping our constituents. It's the everyday work that you guys do on the committees with so many great special events that have been happening since later in my tenure, and the great conversations that have happened. And there's so much new talent from legal to healthcare to immigration to technology. And I want to find a way how we gather all that energy together. And the best way to do that is to make sure that we are, again, working according to the rules and regulations that are out there and the world, so that we're able to govern ourselves and no one can come in and tell us how to do what we do good is take care of each other in the community. So thanks Stephen Palmer, who has worked very hard to understand this work, parliamentary procedure for so long, and other people who are here who are going to be able to offer that guidance, and we're going to look forward to him and all of us together, coming together very soon to talk about how we do the people's business in the most legal and appropriate ways possible. So please look forward for those conversations. We're going to try to do this virtually, but sometimes I think that we do best when we're together because we're visual learning. So we'll try to see how we can accommodate that in more than one way. So again, thank you for Stephen for taking the time and all the work you do already as a board to want to bring that talent to us in a special way. Thank you, Chair.
All right, we move on to old business.
Oh, you see him?
Any old business? New one? Okay. Motion to adjourn.
I, Delorme, make a motion to adjourn.
I'm almost checked.
Check second.
Roll call,
Any discussion? All right. You want to discuss that? You want to discuss the journey?
What time you adjourn?